Good evening and welcome to High Top Sports Network. Joe Rhodes, Josh Reckengast joining you today for this Heritage Conference softball matchup between the Cambria Heights Highlanders and the West Shamokin Wolves. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are excited to be here, excited to catch some softball. And Josh, I think for you, you're probably excited just to get some warm weather.
Yeah, I've dealt with the elements, to say the very, very least, this year, Joe. We've encountered everything: rain, snow, sleet, and hail. I feel like a mailman, because High Top Sports Network would deliver come rain, come sleet, come snow, or come shine. That is our motto here on High Top Sports Network. But right now, getting ready for this Heritage Conference softball championship game. The West Division champions, West Shamokin Lady Wolves, taking on the East Division champion, Cambria Heights Highlanders. And it's going to be a good one. You go down and look at these division records. And West Shamokin had one Heritage Conference loss this season, only one. It came in their first conference game of the year. And guess who it came against? These Cambria Heights Highlanders. And the funny thing is, they didn't get a chance to avenge that loss in the regular season.
Good evening and welcome to High Top Sports Network. Joe Rhodes, Josh Reckengast joining you today for this Heritage Conference softball matchup between the Cambria Heights Highlanders and the West Shamokin Wolves. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are excited to be here, excited to catch some softball. And Josh, I think for you, you're probably excited just to get some warm weather.
Yeah, I've dealt with the elements, to say the very, very least, this year, Joe. We've encountered everything: rain, snow, sleet, and hail. I feel like a mailman, because High Top Sports Network. There was in the West. West Shamokin and Marion Center went at it pretty hard all year long, but the Wolves were able to sweep the Stingers. Our own Joe Rhodes' alma mater this year in the softball matchups between those two teams. So those two teams were battling all year long, West Shamokin and Marion Center. West Shamokin coming out on top, better record and the tiebreaker. And Cambria Heights just basically ran away with that East Division, Joe.
Yeah, Josh, it's funny because you're talking about me being a Marion Center alum. Both of these schools weren't even in the Heritage Conference when I played in the Heritage Conference. So I'm either really old or the conference is growing, and I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of both. Taking on new members.
Yep.
The Heritage Conference getting bigger. We talk about it all the time, Joe, when we're off the air. Just a fantastic conference athletically and academically as well. And I know the Heritage Conference and President Jody Rainey take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am kind of proud of it, too, even though my teachers at Marion Center probably wouldn't be too proud of the grades I eventually got, Josh. But yeah, it's all inclusive for everybody, I guess. I'm trying to think of the words that Jody Rainey had told me in the past when I wrote about some of these new additions joining the Heritage Conference. And he wants to make it a conference for everybody, basically, is what he said, and that's what it is. Now they're expanding, bringing in some really good schools, some good programs. And it's an exciting time for the Heritage Conference, Josh. It's almost resembling a little bit of the old Appalachian Conference for those out there that can remember back that far. But good times in the Heritage Conference. And like I said to start, Josh, really excited to be here and excited to catch these two teams. And it's been a while since they match up, so certainly expect some differences from then till now.
Yeah, a lot different weather. You mentioned the weather right in the open there. A lot different weather than the first time these two teams got together. It was late March, kind of a blustery, windy, gray day. Today we have absolutely perfect weather here at the Spangler Complex in northern Cambria. And before we get started and go a little deeper into our pregame, let us thank our fantastic official broadcast partner. I almost said original, but they are an original. Bowser Minnick Funeral Home, and Beyond the Sunset Pet Crematory, thanks to Becky Donahue. Just a fine lady and a very big supporter of Heritage Conference Athletics and our broadcasts of Heritage Conference Athletics. So thank you to Bowser Minnick Funeral Home and Beyond the Sunset Pet Crematory. Now you take a look at these stats for Cambria Heights, and they have, I'm interested to see who goes out on the mound today for them. Ellie Bender, excuse me, I have the wrong stats in front of me. Apologies. We got a little wind here, so it's blowing around a bit. Actually,
need a little wind here.
Yeah, Sydney Nyhart. She's a junior for this Highlanders team. She went 6-3 this year, and then the senior, who I would guess we'll see today, that would be Karen Adams. She's a lefty, and she went 6-1 this year, Joe, in 11 appearances. And you take a look at her numbers. The ERA a little bit higher than Nyhart's, but still both of those young ladies with 6 wins apiece. And there's also a junior on the pitching staff for the Highlanders, and her name is
Drum roll, please.
Rhea Kasicki. I had to find it. I only have the first initials here on the stats, so I had to cross-reference the roster trying to find her. But an established pitching staff this year for the Highlanders. And on the other side, in the circle, we already know who it's going to be, Avery Elkin. What a year for the freshman. She has really stepped up, and not just the numbers, Joe. She has taken the pressure off of Maddie McConnell, who over the past few years has thrown essentially every pitch for this West Shamokin team. And this year, McConnell back to her natural position at shortstop. And Coach Akins, when I spoke with her about that, she said that is a real big advantage for us because Maddie doesn't go out there feeling the same pressure as she felt when she knew she had to go out and toe the rubber.
Yeah, and that's a really great point. I wondered that from the start of the season when you knew that you're going to have a couple freshmen in there. Mondi also joining Elkin in that little duo of young pitchers on this West Shamokin team that were going to maybe help McConnell, as you said, kind of focus in on what maybe she does best, and that's hit the softball. We've seen her with a lot of clutch hits this season, a couple walk-offs to her name, and certainly it seems like the right formula is in place right now for West Shamokin with this duo on the mound, Mondi and Elkin, and let McConnell, as you said, go back to her natural position short.
Yeah, and this Wolves offense has been humming, Joe. We had a story in the Leader Times, which High Top Sports Network is the official content provider of the Leader Times, the paper of record in Armstrong County, Pennsylvania. But this offense has just been rolling as they have gone on to clinch their spot here in the Heritage Conference Championship game. And you go down the line here, look at these hit numbers. Maria Young, 22 hits. Avery Elkin, 20 hits. Melena Stewart, 23 hits. And you've got Alea Talmadge, 24 hits. It's Lily Jordan, 25 hits. And then Lillian Lias, 20 hits. Maddie Kieran, 20 hits. And Maddie McConnell, 24 hits. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of your batting order with over 20 hits on the season. And I'm not very good at math, but I know this West Shamokin team is coming in at 16-3, and that is 19 games. So you've got basically your entire batting order averaging at least a hit a game. And over the course of a 4-game winning streak here toward the end of the season, West Shamokin outscored their opponents 42-3, a bunch of mercy rule victories in there as well. This squad can really pound the ball, so Cambria Heights going to have their work cut out for them, on the pitching and defensive side of the ball.
The teams being announced now, Josh. West Shamokin obviously in the black. It's not going to be hard to tell these teams apart today. The uniform colors quite contrasting.
Yes.
But let's note, we always talk, obviously the folks out there listening know we cover a lot of Armstrong Riverhawks, who they're actually in action today. The softball team looking to defend their Whippeal championship. Their playoff run begins today as well. And we always talk about their color scheme, blue and orange. From our knowledge, it's the only blue and orange color scheme in, I know it's the Whippeal, but I actually think it might be the state, if I'm not mistaken as well.
That would take some research, but I mean, it is a very uncommon color scheme. You're right.
If there's somebody out there that can even name a team in the PIAA, or
send us a message. It would be nice to get a positive comment on the social media.
But at _sports on Twitter. If you know this, definitely tweet at us.
Or hit the DMs. DMs are always open.
Yep, the DMs are always open. But to my point though, a very unique color scheme here for Cambria Heights, light blue and red. I'm a fan. I like it.
Kind of look like the old school St. Louis Cardinals with that powder blue top.
Indeed. Yeah, it is kind of St. Louis Cardinals-esque. A little brighter red, but nonetheless, Wolves. On the other hand, dressing very dark, as always. And nothing wrong with that. I'm a fan.
Yeah, West Shamokin is the home team today by virtue of their better record.
It's funny. Here's a little insider story. So we're going to do the national anthem. So we're going to tune out for that. A lovely rendition of the national anthem there, Josh. Caught us a little off guard. But what I want to say there quickly, obviously baseball and softball, sports of superstition, I guess you could say. And when we were coming in, Cambria Heights was heading down this third baseline, just adamant about getting that dugout. And West Shamokin at the time was walking across. They had originally set up on the first base dugout line, walking across there, Josh. And Cambria Heights wasn't having it. Apparently, the story there, they had that dugout last year when they were here, so trying to keep things as they were.
Yeah, Northern Cambria athletic director, very helpful guy, Dan Pajak. He had to sort it out there, and it was, you saw, as you said, Joe, West Shamokin did not want to leave that dugout, and Cambria Heights was like trying to tell them, hey, get it going, get out of here, and Mr. Pajak had to step in and lay down the law a little bit, very kindly, of course.
Yep, indeed. We're going to mute out for 1 second here before we get things underway. We'll be right back on High Top Sports Network. Okay, get that out of the way.
For nearly a century, we at Bowser Minnick Incorporated have prided ourselves on not just being in the community, but instead being a part of it and the fabric of our neighborhoods. Our core mission is to truly be there for those who have counted on and entrusted us in times of hardship, and not just be there then, but during all of life's moments worth celebrating. That's why Bowser Minnick is a proud sponsor of today's broadcast, the Heritage Conference, its member schools, and student athletes. Find us online at www.bowserminnick.com.
And welcome back. Sorry, first pitch swinging there. Maria Young, the first batter for West Shamokin. It was that quick. Hits a high fly out to right field for 1 out. So 1 down quickly here in the top of the first inning for the West Shamokin Wolves. So that retires Young. And next up is the fellow mound opponent of the young lady out there right now for Cambria Heights, Karen Adams. This is Avery Elkin, who looks at ball 1.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Joe, Elkin going to be our starting pitcher for West Shamokin. Also good at the plate. Over 20 hits this season. Great freshman year for Elkin.
There's a strike in there. Took something off. It did Adams. Count. So we're going to get that count and that number outs fixed for you here real brief or quickly. That pitch, Elkin thinking about it, but lays off for ball 2. Good eye there by the freshman, and that's a point right there alone. Avery Elkin really stepping up. We mentioned her in the pregame as a freshman. Those bright lights and there's a setting and having some older teammates, not scaring her off. She's had an excellent season, as Josh said. She swings through that one for a strike. And so the test gets a little bit bigger today for Elkin and the Wolves, who weren't here last year like the Highlanders. Pitch on its way from the lefty outside. Nice job by Elkin to hold off. Count now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down here in the top of the first inning. Heritage Conference Championship game between the Wolves of West Shamokin and the Highlanders of Cambria Heights. Just gets a piece of, they're going to say she caught that. That was very low. Thought there was a chance maybe it was on a little bit of a scoop there by the catcher, but a nice job by her to reel that one in and record the out. So 2 down now. Brings to the plate the aforementioned Maddie McConnell. A strike in there to McConnell on the first pitch. So we have a really tall seat here. Well,
Yeah, you do.
I'm like hovering. I'm already tall as it is, and with this really awkwardly high seat, I'm just sitting way too high right now. As McConnell's able to lay off that pitch for a ball. Count now even 1-1. McConnell, you talk about, and we said a little bit in the pregame, Josh, just what she's been able to do at the plate this year. And it's not just been the numbers. I don't want to leave it and just make it about the numbers. She's been clutch as they come. As I mentioned, a couple walk-offs to her name. She hits that one a little bit early, gets on top of it, fouls it away for, or to keep the count, 1
2-2.
ball. 2-2, excuse me, is it?
Yep.
Oh, I'm looking at their scoreboard. It says something different.
I've been keeping it for her. Maybe
For who?
for Maddie's at bat here. It says 1-2 now, so maybe I am wrong. Well, it's definitely 2-2 now.
Okay, there you go.
According to their scoreboard and ours.
There's that old commentator's jinx, actually, coming into play. McConnell, right-handed batter. As you said, Josh, certainly taking full advantage of her senior year. This one, she reaches out for it. Probably would have bobbled a little bit. She's going to be close, and nice job there by the shortstop to still get McConnell. Stays with it. Does Ellie Bender. You mentioned her, possible pitching candidate today. Instead, she's at short and throws a laser across to record the out and end the top of the first inning. So after a half inning, your score remains West Shamokin nothing, Cambria Heights nothing here on High Top Sports Network, presented by Bowser Minnick Funeral Home. A quick inning there, Josh, and certainly a good start for Karen Adams on the mound for the Highlanders.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm sorry. Dry throat today.
You need a drink?
Yeah, I got one down here, but I wish I had another hand. I say that a lot on the broadcast. But yeah, that's exactly what you want if you're Cambria Heights. Get through the top of those first 3 hitters from West Shamokin quickly and keep them off the base paths and off the scoreboard, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an awesome point, Josh, because, at this stage of the season, and I say this really all year long, but I mean, this stage of the season, it's so important to get off to a good start and start quickly, start hot. And, West Shamokin unable to get a hit there, but Cambria Heights, as much as it's just a half inning, you kind of, in my opinion, it's a chess match. You start kind of swaying the momentum in your favor, and you have a 1-2-3 inning like that to start. Certainly something that could be a positive for these Highlanders as they take their first cuts today here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, I've never played in a conference championship game.
Why's that?
My athletic career in high school was, let's just say it was star-crossed at best.
Star-crossed.
Yeah, that's really putting it mildly. But we didn't get to any conference championship games, nor did I play in any playoff games either. So I'm not sure what the jitters these girls might feel out there. I got, did some Legion playoffs and stuff like that, but different story when you're playing for a high school conference championship.
First pitch there by Elkin, fires it past Martina White for the strike. This one in there for a ball, so Elkin rearing back in that first one really and blowing it right by the senior White. Listed as a outfielder second baseman. Her final season in the light blue and red. A little pop-up foul ground, going for it, but out of play. I think it was Stewart there chasing it down on the hot corner, but unable to reel it in. But that does go in the strike column against White, so the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Josh, might I compliment you here, just a great stat sheet today.
Yeah, it's a lot of papers, Joe.
Yeah, I feel like
Here's
it's
Cambria Heights if you want that for their offense.
I feel like it's like a report. And that one, nice play by Young in center field, a sliding catch on one knee, able to reel that in. And the junior coming up big in a early moment here for the Wolves. Young sliding in there to help her freshman pitcher out for out number 1. That'll bring to the plate number 4 for these Highlanders, Sydney Nehart.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Maria Young has really become a great athlete throughout her high school career. We've gotten to watch her a lot, and her older sister Lexi play. And
I don't think they're sisters.
I think they're cousins.
Yeah.
I messed that up. Sorry.
Not sisters.
Well,
Sisters at heart.
families. Yeah. But we got to, have watched Maria come up since her freshman year, and she's really become a fine athlete.
So ball in there in the first pitch by Elkin. This time she's going to catch that outside corner for a strike. That's the other thing about Elkin. You look at her numbers, not a lot of walks to her name. Certainly more strikeouts than innings pitched. All those numbers and those, if you're an analytics person, the things you want to see. Third pitch of the at-bat, low in the zone. Ball 2. One ball, 2 strikes to the second batter here in the bottom of the first inning after the Wolves went down in order. This one popped up foul behind the backstop. Count now even 2-2. To number 4, Sydney Nehart. Nehart? Where are we going with
Nehart?
Nehart?
No.
You're the
language
wordsmith.
guy? Yeah, I would say Nehart.
Elkin's pitch on its way. Another ball out of play. So give credit here early on the Highlanders getting some contact and making Elkin work for it.
Really impressed by the velocity out of Elkin so far as a freshman. She can really fire it in there, Joe.
This one's going to be blooped right into center field. This time Young can't get to it. Not great contact. That one's fired in there over the head of whoever was standing at second base there, but corralled and brought in at first by, I think it's, can't really see. Now, we're in a weird time of the day here where you want to wear sunglasses because the sun's just blaring right on us, but then when you put your shades down, you really can't see real well across this field. We're positioned here in left field. Next batter up now with a runner on first base. Swinging through her first pitch is number 1, Ellie Bender. Josh, you mentioned her as a possible candidate as a pitcher on the or for the Highlanders today. Not the case. Now our coach taking a moment, kind of going there. Seems like he walked down towards home plate where Bender is and kind of said, take it easy. Don't swing out of your shoes. Something of the sort.
Yeah, we know about doing that. I saw you do that yesterday.
Yeah, and I think I tore something in my shoulder as a result. First day out golfing, some of us kids, we never learn, Josh.
Nope.
And trying to swing out of my shoes. I'm playing without a driver right now, long story short. And trying to hit that 3-wood just as far. And physics would tell you that's not possible.
Nope.
And so I don't believe it. And I start swinging out of my shoes. And as a result, not feeling too hot today in the left shoulder region. That one's fouled out of play. Nice job there by Stewart. Looked like she was charging, and she would have had a chance for it, but smartly lets that one go foul. And it brings Bender back to the plate. Count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. See if the bunt's still in play by Bender. She's going to strike out looking to backwards. Nice job there by Lily Jordan. Crazy to say, the veteran back there now. Lily's career, she's one of those players. We always talk about them, Josh. They just feel like they've been around forever because they burst on the scene as a freshman and just continue doing it. And that's been Lily Jordan in all of her sports, really.
Yeah.
But a great job, as you mentioned, framing that pitch for the out. So 2 down now for the Wolves, trying to strand the runner at first. First pitch in there to the cleanup batter now. Called a strike. That's the one thing I mentioned a moment ago. Elkin is going to throw strikes. She's going to may let her defense play a little bit more. Maybe not insane strikeout numbers. There's another swing and miss, but still really nice strikeout numbers nonetheless. But still not going to give a lot of free passes is my point, Josh.
Yeah, Alexis Griak up, clean up here in the hole 0-2.
Griak behind now, and a swing and a miss. That one, she's reaching for it in that tough spot, as you mentioned, Josh. Behind in the count, nowhere really to go, and took a swing at a bad pitch, but the Wolves will take it as they do indeed strand that runner at first base and make this a 0-0 ball game as we head into the second inning of play here on High Top Sports Network on this Bowser Minnick Funeral Home game night. Josh, I was going to tell you, I was motioning to you while talking there. Maybe take a swig. Your
I know.
Your throat sounded a little.
I don't know why it's so hoarse today.
Maybe it's you yelling at the TV at all these Pirate games that have just been going sideways here of late.
Well, not yesterday. I didn't have to.
Curse of the Magi.
Curse of the Magi, but the only guy apparently not affected by that is Mitch Keller.
Yeah, Mitch Keller just throwing gas right now, and great to see as he was kind of a touted prospect, and finally kind of realizing his potential. But a good bounce back there by the Wolves. Obviously they went down in order, as I mentioned, in the top of the first inning, and able to strand a runner at first base, and that base runner only getting on because of that little bloop single, not great contact into center field. So really things even here. Both pitchers off to a great start for both the Highlanders and the Wolves. So now the aforementioned Lily Jordan will kick things off here in the top of the second inning for West Shamokin. Lily, an excellent basketball player. Obviously here on the softball diamond, played volleyball for a while. And fair to say, excelled in all of those sports, did Lily Jordan.
Yeah, really. And we might be in the Lily Jordan danger zone here, Joe.
Yep, we are right in that the alley that if she gets a hold of one, we You might hear me drop the headset and try to catch a souvenir, Josh.
Yeah, and protect the equipment and us.
Yeah, more about the equipment than the souvenir at this point.
Yes, we have sacrificed our bodies during playoff softball games for our equipment. That is
Very true indeed.
That is a real thing.
Strike on that last pitch. This one now a ball to Jordan. Count even 1-1. To the junior. That's hard to believe, too. Feels like Lily's been around for like the last 6 years.
I know.
But again, she was an awesome freshman. As I said, burst on the scene. First in volleyball, then basketball. She lays off that pitch smartly, and there's that kind of that veteran eye. I've seen enough pitches in her career that able to lay off a close pitch, count 2 balls and a strike. But luckily for us and people that enjoy good athletes, that one's going to scoot through the middle. I'm going to say Lily Jordan's got another year. Now she's got another hit on this season. Reaches first base, and that single up the middle. The first hit today for the Wolves, coming here in the second inning. And the first at bat of this second inning, so a nice start for the Wolves. We'll see what they can do with it now as Melena Stewart, the third baseman, comes to the plate with Jordan on first.
Yeah, I think Lily is the team leader in hits, if I recall correctly from the pregame open there. 25, yeah, so that's her 26th of the season.
Melena Stewart, another young Wolves player, experiencing success. A very young team, really, overall. As she gets or looks at strike one, tried to lay off there, a very close pitch, but the call goes to the senior on the mound, Adams. Adams throws that one, nice stop by the catcher, and a couple nice plays so far back there behind the plate for Bernecki for the Highlanders. Pitcher's best friend. That one high, a riser there, and Stewart gets a piece of it, but foul and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Stewart last year, Josh, a part of that duo along with Maria Young. They hit back-to-back home runs in the district, the conclusion of their district playoffs against Marion Center at the Stingers' home. This one's going to hit off the end of the bat and scoot foul. Good jump there, though, by Jordan at first. Would have made things difficult to get her, but instead she'll trot back to first base, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Melena Stewart. Again, the future bright for the Wolves. We mentioned a lot of young players. McConnell will obviously depart, and that's a huge loss for the Wolves, but what's returning is certainly exciting for all the folks in Rural Valley in 2024.
Oh,
wow.
Man, that's not a real
that's
year.
not a real year.
That is not a real year.
No, it's not. It's a space number. It's like a number you hear on Star Trek.
Where are the flying cars? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, right? This one blooped infield towards the second baseman, makes a play on, she drops it! And smartly, Jordan books it towards second base and gets in safely. I think the second baseman, there might have been a communication breakdown there, not to quote the greatest band of all time, Led Zeppelin, but it looked like she was kind of at second base. Can't get the number right now, Josh, but she was sort of pulling off a little bit. Maybe thought the pitcher, Adams was going to make the play on it. Instead, Adams kind of looking at her, and that ball drops off the end of her glove, and now 2 Wolves on with still no one down here in the top of the second inning. So the Wolves actually are the away team, it seems, today, Josh. And this one's going to be drilled to center field. This one has a chance to get out off the...
Oh, wow.
What a scoop! A snow cone play by the center fielder. What a play!
That was unreal.
By number 15, number 15, Josh, Martina White. We saw her at the plate in that first inning, but showing off the glove here did White.
I mean, she's running full speed right at the fence, gets the glove up, snow cones it. The runners, Jordan was able to advance, but give her credit for not only making the play, but getting that ball back in so quickly.
Josh, you're doing a whole bunch there. I'm going to try to take a load off you and get this scoreboard, and I'll take duties on that. But first pitch in there now, still with 1 down. Josh is Madison Kieran, another freshman on the Wolves, if I'm not mistaken. Should know this as many times I've got to catch the Wolves here today.
I believe she is a freshman. It
Doesn't
say
on this roster, but
I think I remember that from basketball season.
Kieran able to lay off that last pitch for a ball. Count even 1-1 with one down. Ones are wild. For the Wolves here in the second inning, a big opportunity with one down. Lily Jordan standing just 60 feet away at third base. And Stewart stands at second. Adams fires in there, just missing. The catcher keeping that glove there for an extra second. Bernecki, but she wasn't going to change the umpire's mind. As a result, the count 2 balls and a strike. This one high out of the zone. Kieran reaching for it and runs the count even 2-2.
Well, give Adams credit. I mean, Jordan's really been the only one that has been able to lay off that rise pitch. And she's getting a ton of foul balls, which equals strikes. So give Adams credit on that riser.
Maddie Kern is batting, I believe, 345. Not a bad number. Excuse me. Yep, 345 it says here. My is that right?
Yeah, they're kind of
staggered.
they're kind of tabbed
Staggered,
over a
yeah.
little bit there.
But certainly a nice average for a player in their first varsity season. Wearing my favorite number.
Yeah.
She reaches for this one, blasts it down the right field side, and gloved in by the right fielder. That should be enough, though, to score a run and move up Stewart to third, and it is. And as a result, the Wolves take a 1-0 lead. Nice job, nice piece of hitting there by Kern.
What a throw in, though,
Yeah.
by Lane out there in right field, showing off the gun. And it was really only about a step behind Lily Jordan as she crossed the plate.
Yeah, the defense certainly a story here early on. You saw that nice play by Maria Young in center field for the Wolves, and saw that nice glove play here in center field by, I believe that was number 15, if I'm not mistaken, Josh?
Yeah.
Yep, Martina White. And then another nice play there by another outfielder for the Highlanders. It's almost, as you said, not too far behind Lily Jordan. The Wolves do take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. First pitch in there called a strike to Saccone.
Working that corner, working that outside corner. Adams has been on that. Wolves have been laying off of it, but she's getting that corner call from the home plate umpire.
You know, always maybe going to give that to the senior, but in this case, facing another senior in Saccone. Obviously enjoying her last year in a Wolves uniform, missed a couple of years and missed a lot of time in the softball diamond due to injury, so trying to make up for lost time here and help the Wolves do some damage in the postseason as she lays off that ball that had a nice bit of break on it, diving out of the zone, but smartly the senior holds her bat and draws a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, a little changeup right there. Haven't seen that out of Adams so far.
Hey, you really haven't. Ooh.
Got that corner again.
It's going to be a 50-50. If she gets that spot, every other call is probably going to be the opposite of what the last one was. That's a fair thing to do. This one roped and brought in another nice defensive play by the Highlanders. This one coming from the shortstop, number 1, Ellie Bender. An excellent play, and we saw her rifle in the first inning, Josh, on the defensive side of the diamond, and right there making a play with the glove did Bender to retire the Wolves here in the top of the first inning, but they do strike and score 1 run on the sacrifice fly by Madison Kern. And the Wolves now out in front as we head to the bottom of the second inning, 1-0 in this Heritage Conference Championship game presented by Bowser Minnick Funeral Home.
Yeah, and we'd also like to thank Beyond the Sunset Pet Crematory.
Yep.
One of the toughest things you're ever going to have to do.
Oh, don't tell me. Yep.
I mean, I wasn't trying to lead you into that since you've experienced it relatively recently.
And you bring it up every time. And
well, they were one of our sponsors today, so I want to thank them.
Yep,
but
absolutely.
They are very caring and compassionate people there. And as I said, one of the toughest things you're ever going to have to do. And they will assist you with, every part of the process. And it will be, I was going to say as painless as possible, but not really painless, but they'll be very helpful.
Yep. And thank you to Becky and all the fine folks over at Bowser Minnick. They are big supporters of what we do, and our our drive to showcase these athletes at this time of year for West Shamokin and Cambria Heights in this particular day. And, the big stage and the big lights deserve a platform to be showcased, and we love doing it, and we thank Becky and the fine folks at Bowser Minnick for helping us do that as Elkin fires in her first pitch here to number 12 of the Highlanders, Abby Zeglin. This one hit off the end of the glove. Stewart throw on to first, plenty of time for out number 1. So only 2 pitches needed for West Shamokin, Josh, to retire the first out here in the bottom of inning number 2.
Yeah, caught that one off the end of the bat, as you said, and up with it and across quickly. Not taking any time with that was Melena Stewart, so.
Elkin back in the circle, fires her first pitch in the second at bat, low and out of the zone. Called a ball to Mazzello.
Macy Mazzello playing second base there. She was actually caught up in that little miscommunication on the infield that helped the Wolves get that first run on the board.
But as the case has been, not just tonight, but in the recent past, Elkin jumps right back with a strike. I don't think we've seen her fall behind 0-2 at any point so far here today. I'm not mistaken. But she does throw a ball there a little bit high. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mazzello. Her first at bat here of this Heritage Conference Championship game in Spangler, PA. A place that I used to play all-star baseball at when I was a young lad. Probably one of these fields somewhere around here. But I was not showing off my ball skills today, Josh. I actually, a ball had trickled over the fence as we were setting up cameras. A young lady playing in this game asked me to retrieve it for her. As Stewart throws another dart over to first to retire Mazzello. 2 down now for the Wolves in the bottom of the second. But young lady, I don't remember her number, but I tried tossing it back to her. I kind of did a little throw on the run, so that, to my defense, that's what happened. And I ended up hitting her, one of her teammates in the back. Well, not the back, but kind of hit her in the shoe. Nonetheless, my bad. Whoever that was, sorry.
As long as everybody's okay.
I think so. It was a shoe. She's a little more padded than an actual back.
Yeah.
So Elkin now working nice and quickly and looking confident, and she throws another first pitch strike with 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. Bernecki, the catcher, getting her first cuts. Another one nicely placed. You're not always gonna get those to sit right where you want them to, but those borderline ones will get some swings and misses too. So not a bad pitch there by Elkin, but the count now is 1-1. Bernecki, high fly ball. Elkin's gonna casually stand under that one and grab it for the 3rd out. So a nice inning there by Avery Elkin and the Wolves in the bottom of the second inning to keep these Highlanders at bay. And scoreless on your screen as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. Wolves leading 1-0. Josh, I want to quickly thank the Heritage Conference, as always, helping us achieve what we want to when we come to these games, and that's get it out to you folks out there. So first and foremost, Jody Rainey, President of Heritage Conference. Thank you, Jody, for all your help, not just today, but over the years. Certainly appreciate Jody. He's an excellent guy. And I asked him if he was going to be here tonight. He said nope, but I said hopefully I'll get to see you before this school year's over, because, man, oh, man, hard to believe we're in his final days of the 2022-23 school year. And so I was hoping I'd see Jody today. Not the case, but thank you to him. And always Colin Stokes at United, big part of the Heritage Conference and what they do. And Josh, you called down to United, and they were very helpful to you as well. So all the people, or United, I say United? Northern Cambria.
Yeah.
I meant to say. I was thinking still about Colin there.
Well, Colin's always helpful too.
Oh, yeah. But certainly Northern Cambria.
Mm-hmm. Dan Pajak.
Yep, Dan.
The athletic director. He's also dean of students. He has like 4 titles, and when I left him a voicemail this morning, he said, "I'm sorry I didn't get back to you right away. I was in a meeting about this." And I said, "Yeah, when I listened to your voicemail, you had about 4 different job titles." I said, "Well, that's a busy guy. I hope he has a chance to get back to me." But he certainly did, and made sure that we had our power and our, setup spot here. So thank you to Mr. Pajak and Northern Cambria High School.
Yeah, the Heritage Conference, we just named a couple people. Jody, obviously, a big part of what goes on at Homer Center School District, and Colin at United, and getting a little name drop there for Dan and folks at Northern Cambria. Everybody's so helpful. It's a great conference. It really is. It's just one big team in a lot of ways. They all kind of band together, all the athletic directors and all the folks in leadership roles. And like we were talking about in the pregame, it's great to see where this conference is going. And you see these championship games like you have over recent years as the conference has grown. And it's just really exciting stuff. Certainly envious because I didn't get to do such things whenever I was in the Heritage Conference. So the top of the third now commencing. First pitch across, swinging a ball called, but this one a strike. So as we mentioned about Elkin earlier, her mound opponent Adams doing a good job of bouncing back after first pitch balls and evening the count, as she did right there to the batter Liam Mondi.
Living on that corner, and she's getting it.
This one well short, but Bernecki, a wall back there. She's been all night, able to stop that one with the chest protector. And count now, 2 balls and a strike. Top of the third inning, Wolves leading 1-0. They score in the top of the second to take this early advantage. Lefty well short again. Kind of looks down at the mound, maybe lost her footing a little bit. Looked like she filled in the hole directly in front of the rubber, and might have been a part of why that pitch was out of the zone. So now Mondi, part of that pitching duo for West Shamokin this season, the freshman, now is in the driver's seat rather. Whoa! And I feel bad for that car.
Oh
no!
Wow.
She crushed that. Yeah, she crushed that so hard it went over the row of cars here, parked down the third base. Yeah.
Up there, the
tailgaters,
Highlanders fans up there, they got to know they're in foul territory. That's real close to the field.
So that will go as a strike against Mondi. Count 2-1. Pitch on its way. Oh, I'm sorry. That was ball 4. Excuse me. Where was I on the other ball there, Josh? Nonetheless, Mondi will trot down to first. So leadoff batter for a second straight inning on base for West Shamokin here. And I think we're back to the top of the order, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Maria Young will stand in. She took the first pitch she saw in the first inning and flied out. This one she's going to lay off of and take ball 1. Whoop. Junior center fielder stands in her second at bat. This one hit up the middle. Bender's going to toss to second base. They're going to try to turn 2. This one hops in there, but a great scoop at first base over there by, I believe that's number 8 for the Highlanders, Alexis Griak. And lead runner is out, but the speedy Young able to get down to first base in time. So now 1 down for the Wolves, and they will send their pitcher to the plate, Avery Elkin. Her second at bat, 0 for 1 thus far. High out of the zone. Ball 1.
So hard to turn that double play in high school softball.
Really is.
And it's just now.
Softball in general, really.
Yeah, for real. And nowadays these girls are such great athletes that they're all booking down the line with good speed, and it's just darn near impossible to turn 2.
This pitch on its way, hit hard, chopped to the second baseman, toss over. Bender's going to try to go to first, and wow, that is going to go as an out. So when you talk about how hard it is to turn 2, the Highlanders able to do it there. Man, oh man, looked like Elkin beat it by a step, Josh, but the gentleman in blue says differently, and that will retire the side for the Wolves in the bottom of the third. Score remains West Shamokin 1, Cambria Heights 0 here in this Heritage Conference Championship game on High Top Sports Network, presented by Bowser Minnick Funeral Home. Boy, Josh, that was as close as you can get without your eyes getting wet, as old Greg once said.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe. The defense we have seen today out of Cambria Heights has been extremely impressive.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Both sides, really.
Yeah. But a couple of really big plays that have been run savers for Cambria Heights and inning enders as well. Got a score update from that Armstrong game. I checked it a little bit ago. They won 10-0.
Of course they did.
The number 1 seed in the District 7. See, I called it District 7.
Thank you.
5A bracket. Took care of number 16, Upper St. Clair today at Norwin High School. Not Normand.
Not to be confused with...
Not Normand. It was Norwin. And 10-0 win for the Riverhawks, so they move on.
Armstrong looking, as we said, And I was trying to look up the record here, Josh. Jason Elkin, a softball connoisseur, school board member for Armstrong School District, a great asset to the Armstrong School District community. Of course, West Shamokin, a part of that district. And Armstrong is on a little bit of a winning streak of their own, as the Wolves are. I think it's, I'm trying to look up the exact number here, but it's been
something like 30 in a row between the two teams.
Yeah, so between West Shamokin and Armstrong, it is...
Because it's now 17 for the Riverhawks. They've now won 17 in a row. I know that.
Yeah, I might have just scrolled past. I'm trying to look in my messages here, but it's an extraordinary number for two teams that reside in the same school district, as Elkin gets another swing and miss. We've seen a lot of those here so far by the Highlanders. I don't know if Elkin's getting a little bit of movement, but she also didn't look like that was anything. She didn't take anything off of that either, Josh.
Yeah, and you just made me think of something. It's kind of a bummer that we don't get to see these two teams,
play.
Armstrong and West Shamokin, play each other in softball because, we get to see them play one another in other sports.
Right. But count 1-1 now. Bottom of the third inning. Wolves leading 1-0. This one taken and out at first. So hard from our vantage point to see if that was foul, but because it was so casually done there by the first baseman, Saccone. But she takes that little dribbler and is able to retire the first batter of this third inning. But we were talking.
Well, as a former first baseman, I can tell you those are your favorite. The 3 unassisted soft ground ball.
That's a chopper.
Wow, no, the pop bunt.
Oh, sorry, yeah, pop bunt. Sorry, Josh, I was...
Yeah, I know, you were turning your head right whenever you...
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a little pop bunt right there, and Melina Stewart came charging in.
So yeah, and this is something that's kind of becoming a trend here so far, Josh. The Wolves having some quick innings on the defensive side of the ball. Elkin just 31 pitches here with 2 down in the third inning. So
cruising. Yeah,
it's an efficient run so far for the Wolves in terms of being, as I said, this side of the diamond. Elkin with a rare ball 1 to the batter for the Highlanders. White, center fielder, making that scoop earlier, that little snow cone catch look easy.
Full on sprinting too.
This one hit high out to between short and left field, and the senior will call off the left fielder Mondi for the third out. So another quick out for the Wolves. Elkin just 33 pitches to get through the first 3 innings and holding these Highlanders at bay. Still scoreless here as we head to the 4th inning. Your score, West Shamokin 1 and Cambria Heights 0 on the best doggone sports network around, High Top Sports Network.
You know it.
So Josh, your early impressions here, certainly good things from both teams. The defenses of both, really a big story, I think, early on. But what else have you noticed here today?
Good pitching, good D. I can't believe it's already the 4th inning. This game started a little bit early, Joe, maybe like 4 minutes early, and we're already halfway through.
Just to kind of put things into perspective for, we mentioned Elkin, 33 pitches here through the first 3 innings. Very, very efficient. You take that number right there any day of the week. Her last 50 innings, she's pitched 50 innings, 2.10 ERA. Opponent batting average just 228. She's given up 43 total hits, 15 earned runs, only 17 walks, a number you love to see from a freshman, and 64 strikeouts. So 14 more strikeouts than innings pitched, a great number there. And a big reason why the Wolves are in front right now, 1-0.
And all those stats are trending in the right direction too, Joe. When you look at a pitching line, sometimes you'll get a stat that's a little bit out of whack and you kind of sense a weakness, especially with a younger pitcher, but not with Elkin. All those stats, as you just rattled them off there, all trending in the right direction.
So we head to the 4th inning now, and things not getting any easier for Cambria Heights as Maddie McConnell, used to be named Auto Maddie on the volleyball court.
Oh, yeah, Auto Maddie.
Still Auto Maddie for the softball team nonetheless. Takes the first pitch she sees and bloops it towards the shortstop, who corrals it and retires McConnell on the first pitch. 1 down.
Another quick out there for Adams. McConnell, that riser again, Joe, and that one I think kind of rode in on her hands a little bit. She didn't get much on that, just a little pop to short. Quick first out. So
1 down here in the top of inning number 4. Lily Jordan, the catcher, looks at ball one. Lily, one for
sorry,
one.
Joe.
Nope, you're good. 1 for 1 so far is Lily Jordan.
I was going to say the lone run scorer today.
So, Josh, after Armstrong's win today, just to put it in perspective, 31 straight between the Wolves and Riverhawks.
That is insane.
And it'll be 32 if the Wolves can hold on to this lead. Jordan there gets a strike. Count even 1-1 with one down here in the top of the fourth. This one hit hard up the middle. Another base hit for the Wolves, and seen a couple base hits up that middle of the field portion there. And as a result, Lily Jordan will stand at first base for a second straight plate appearance.
Yeah, Jordan, both of her hits, hard ground balls right up the middle.
So still one down. Jordan at first, and Melena Stewart comes to the plate. She's 0 for 1.
Wow, I took off my shades and my eyes are like color adjusted because those are kind of orange. Woo!
First pitch in there, a strike to the freshman, or excuse me, sophomore, I believe, Melena Stewart. Again, hit a bomb at my alma mater last year in the district playoffs. Wolves, that was the final game of their district playoff run last year. I'm hoping to have a little bit longer of a run this year in the District 6 playoffs. That one just missing the zone. A lot of movement on that one by Adams. A really nice pitch. Again, you want to live around there. You're going to miss sometimes, but the goal there, obviously, to induce a swing and miss. But Stewart wisely lays off, and the count now 1-1.
We have the stadium, field lights have just come on here. That's always a cool touch, get to play under the lights.
Our first night game. This one chopped slowly towards the third baseman. She's going to grab it and throw to first just in time. Nice stretch over there at first for the out. Let's give credit where credit's due. And Alexis Skriak able to reach out for that one and help retire Stewart for out number 2. Jordan now in scoring position, though, standing at second base. And the 6th batter in the West Shamokin order, now at the plate, Alea Talmadge. I must have been looking at notes or something. I don't remember Talmadge's last at bat. Must have been a quick one, but we've talked about Elkins, her working quickly. Really say the same so far for Adams. Slightly more pitches, though. 53rd pitch right there, out of the zone. Ball 2. Big spot here. Yeah, another freshman on this Wolves team. But a big spot here nonetheless, with a runner standing at second base, 2 down, and only just a 1-0 lead in the 4th inning. A good position now. Driver's seat is Talmadge. Strike called there. Looking that one pretty much in the whole way.
Yeah, that is Adams' spot. We've mentioned it a few times. She's just right on that corner. Just picking up just enough of that black.
I had my seat upside down as a result.
Well, you were hovering before, so.
Another pitch in there, a strike. Talmadge, after taking 2 consecutive balls, looking at 2 straight strikes, and they'll count even to match the number of outs here in inning number 4. 2 down, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch on its way out of the zone. Full count now for the Wolves and Alea Talmadge. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I was going to mention earlier, we haven't had a lot of base runners, so we haven't seen any stolen base attempts right now, but you're going to figure Lily Jordan's going to be moving right now, so a base hit here, probably going to get a run home.
Again, to her credit, Bernecki back behind the plate. You have not seen anything get back to the cage unless it's been hit like that last pitch there. Fouled away by Talmadge, but Bernecki has been doing an excellent job for these Highlanders. Excuse me, 2 down. 3 balls, 2 strikes it remains. Talmadge hits this one off the glove of the pitcher. That's going to help Talmadge get there. She is safe. And as a result, Highlanders have their heads turned trying to dispute that call. And as a result, the very wise Lily Jordan guns it, or motors home rather, for the second run of the game. So that's, you kind of got to get over things quickly if you're the Highlanders, because as a result, standing around like that allowed the Wolves to get a run, and they are at a premium here today, Josh. They take a 2-0 lead, and Man, oh man, you could look back on that when this game's over and really wonder. As the first pitch of the next at bat in there for a strike.
Yeah, Jordan heads up all the way. As you mentioned, she's played so much. She's definitely a veteran out there. And she saw Cambria Heights turn their head, never stopped. In there with run number 2.
This one, Kern hits it towards first base and able to camp under it for the out is the first baseman for out number 3. So the Wolves getting themselves a run. Lily Jordan able to motor from second base the whole way home there, Josh, on a very close play at first. I think the right call was made. A safe call as Talmadge booked it down the first base line, and a little bit of a dispute there by the players and the umpire, and kind of just standing around not paying attention to Jordan, who wisely made her way home safely for the second run of this ball game, and the Wolves take a 2-0 lead, Josh.
And how about these Wolves manufacturing runs? We talked about how potent their offense has been, especially toward the close of the year, just big offensive numbers. But today, the defense by Cambria Heights has been fantastic, and West Shamokin has done a great job. You get a base hit, you move that runner over. You know, you get a close play at first, they turn their head, you score. First run scored, a couple of fly balls, moving Jordan from second to third, and then third across the plate. So these Wolves have really been manufacturing these runs, not relying on the home run, not relying on extra base hits, not pounding the ball at all. You know, Karen Adams has been fantastic for the Highlanders in the circle. So the Wolves really manufacturing these runs, and it's been impressive that a team that is so used to just pounding the ball is able to do the little things to get that offense going and take this 2-0 lead. First pitch just missed there by Elkin. That was pretty close to the strike zone, but ball number 1. And
sorry, Josh.
no, that's all right. This is Nyhart at the plate here to lead off for Cambria Heights.
So the bottom of the inning now, and the Highlanders that much further away from the Wolves, trailing 2-0. Elkin really looking good here early on for the Wolves through 4 innings, or through, I guess, 3 full. The count 2-1 to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the first inning for the Highlanders, the aforementioned Nyhart, who swings and misses.
Yeah, Elkin zipping that one in here.
Most certainly, and she's working quickly, Josh. Back on the rubber, ready to go, and fires this one in there for a strike. And another backwards K by Avery Elkin. A great pitch there, again, living on that edge and able to paint the black for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, it looks great.
And this one foul back first pitch in there to the game changer down. Oh.
That's Bender. She's up. Sometimes that game changer, and I mention it all the time on the broadcast, it'll take a few seconds.
Number 1, Ellie Bender, behind now in the count. No balls and a strike, and lays off that pitch, and the call goes to the senior. Scoreboard. I'm looking at that scoreboard. Sorry. Bender stands in. Had that leg ready to go.
She wanted that one, Joe. She was looking fastball, and good discipline to lay off that, but she wanted to take a hack.
Again, despite it being a ball, another nice pitch by Elkin. Hey. This one fouled out of play. Taking a look is Saccone, but that's going to travel well out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down for the Highlanders, bottom of the 4th inning. More than halfway through this game. And the Wolves in control so far, thanks to the efforts of their terrific defense and the freshman pitcher, Avery Elkin. Swing and a miss. Elkin retiring the second Highlands batter here of this fourth inning. And as this game goes on, she seems to get stronger and stronger, does Avery Elkin. Lights proving not to be too bright for her. Again, stepping in there in a team with veterans on it like McConnell, like Lily Jordan, and being in that tough position to being the freshman who has to kind of play such a crucial role. And she has handled it well, as is Leah Mondi, playing left field here today for the Wolves. And another swing and a miss. Seen a lot of those today so far for the Highlanders, Josh.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Joe. She is getting stronger, and it seems like the velocity is getting up as the innings get up.
Painting that outside corner like she has all night, like a Rembrandt, Josh. Count now. No balls, 2 strikes. The efficiency by Avery Elkin.
Well, 1 strike away from K-ing the entire Cambria Heights side here in this inning.
That one just kind of a, see if she could get a chase on it maybe. Outside the zone for a ball. Up to 46 pitches now is Avery Elkin. At the plate, of course, for the Highlanders, their first baseman, who hits a towering home run off the,
wow,
almost nearly off a van. That one is a good, what, Josh, 15 yards over the,
oh yeah, at least
over the center field, 20, maybe 20 yards over the center field fence. Boy, oh boy, Alexis Griak able to get into that one and
crushed. Oh, mashed.
Yeah, I don't know if I could hit a golf ball that far, Josh. Yesterday I sure couldn't.
Well, she reached out, got those arms extended, and finally someone on that Highlanders team able to catch up to Elkin's fastball. And, boy, that one definitely more than 15 yards out. I'd say probably 20.
25 maybe?
25.
Yeah, that one, somehow getting all of it. I was going to say got all of it, but that one high and kind of a little bit out of the zone there.
Yeah, it's, like I said, she got those arms out.
Yeah, and
it just shows the strength.
Man, to hit that much of a towering fly ball, usually if you're going to hit that kind of, kind of flight path on it, hitting such a high home run, you're going to kind of get under it a little bit. It's going to be low in the zone right there somehow, some way. Griak hitting that one like she was hitting a tennis racket out of the ball field here.
Yeah.
A very impressive play there. Now, question, how Elkin actually getting touched up for the first time, and really the only really good contact off her so far. How is she going to respond?
I just took a look over at the Cambria Heights dugout because the umpire went over and said something there to head coach Drew Thomas, and on the side there, looks like Sydney Neihart warming up. So may see a pitching change here soon for the Highlanders.
Well, you mentioned it early on, I think in the pregame, you have a lefty-righty possibility, lefty starting, and now you have a righty possibly, and they're just the hopes of changing up the look, kind of confusing the Wolves and creating that little game within a game by going lefty-righty. If that is the case, count 1 ball, no strikes, 2 down still here, and the Highlanders able to get a run on the board as this one's going to travel and hit off somebody's mirror on their Chevy Colorado. The Colorado, right? The small mid-sized pickup?
Yeah.
But, gentlemen, signals to somebody, maybe it's their car, and gives them the old thumbs up. You're good.
Hey, don't worry about it.
That one's going to hop in there, and Jordan. Two things that Elkin is now seeing here is this one's hit hard, closed down the line, but foul early there. And I feel like the Highlanders may be seeing something about Elkin, kind of sitting back and waiting. And Zeglin almost hitting a home run, but again, early on it, and as a result, hit foul. Count now full with 2 down in the bottom of inning number 4. Big moment here. Elkin looking to shut the door and leave it just 1 run. This one's going to be hit, getting under it, and now Stewart able to camp under it for out number 3, so limiting the damage and retiring the side of the Wolves, but getting touched up a little bit there thanks to the bomb off the bat of Alexis Griak, the first baseman, hitting a towering home run over the center field fence to cut this lead in half for the Highlanders as we head into inning number 5. Josh.
Well, the big homer races that run that West Shamokin was able to put on the board in the top of the inning, but luckily for the Wolves, nobody on base there, so a solo shot West Shamokin still in the lead as we getting ready to start the 5th here in this Heritage Conference Softball Championship game presented by Bowser Minnick Funeral Home and Beyond the Sunset Pet Crematory.
Yep. Thank you to, again, to the fine folks at Beyond the Sunset Pet Crematory and Bowser Minnick Funeral Home, big supporters of Heritage Conference athletics. And Josh, just to kind of take the folks inside a little bit. You said you talked to Becky this morning, and we got kind of a short notice on doing this game. Some things we had to figure out on our end, and so we called Becky. And it's always tough. You don't want to ask folks for their hard-earned cash on the day of a game like this, but certainly needed to do stuff like this, Josh. And you said no hesitation on her part. She pretty much said, "What can I do for you guys? How can I help?" And stepped right up and showed her support, not just of us, but these student athletes. And as a result, she's today's official broadcast partner.
You know what she said? She said, "I'm so glad you guys do this. That pandemic really took a lot away from these young kids. It took their sports away." And she talked about how such a positive impact sports have on mental health. And she said she is always more than happy to help us showcase these student athletes that work so hard and maybe encourage a younger kid who maybe got disillusioned with sports during the pandemic to get back out there. She is just a lady with such a great heart, and we thank you so much, Becky. Certainly appreciate it, and she really appreciates what we do, and we appreciate what she does for us.
This one hit on the ground towards second base, bobbled, getting it quickly, but throwing and stepping off the bag, and is safe as a result. The bobble creating an issue at first, at second base by number 21, Macy Mazzello, and the throw thereafter a little bit off the bag, and that took the first baseman off the bag, the aforementioned home run slugger, Alexis Griak. And as a result, beating out the play and getting down to first base in time was Ciccone. So another leadoff batter, I think for the 3rd consecutive inning now for the Wolves, Josh, stands at first base. Apologizing. To get the innings fixed here, 5th inning. Standing in is Mondi, hit between the hole. That'll allow Ciccone to get down to second base. First pitch, swinging, drills a bullet between third and shortstop. And as great as Bender is at short, and we've seen a couple great plays by her, that one just hit too sharply. As a result, Mondi stands at first. So first 2 batters of this inning and a meeting on the mound.
Well, maybe Coach Thomas sent something there in Adams. That's why he had Nyhart warming up when they were up at the plate. Mound visit right now. Well, not really a mound visit. It's a circle in softball. So
circle visit.
Coach Thomas making his way to the circle to talk to his team, giving some defensive instruction here. Adams will stay in.
And as you would see through several parts of Western PA, some quads and dirt bikes and
side-by-sides.
Side-by-sides making their way in that path down the third base line. So a big spot here now for the Wolves. And the leadoff hitter, Maria Young, stands in with no one down in the 5th inning. Certainly a chance for the Wolves to get back a run. Nice job there again by Bernecki to try to bring that down, and she did almost fluidly to try to get that strike, but
it was really kind of impressive, Joe.
Like, it was.
The ball was still in flight, and she was bringing it in. It was wild.
Yeah, I'm glad you noticed that too. It was very fluid. That was the word I had to kind of use to describe it. But Blue, probably a veteran in his craft as well, able to see past it and call the ball. And now another ball fired in there by the lefty, Karen Adams. This one hit towards second base and a snow cone catch there. Nice job there. Didn't know what to do, did Macy Mazzello, but nonetheless able to corral it and retire the leadoff hitter, Maria Young.
It's a big out right there, Joe. First 2 runners reach. You got to get that first out. Makes you feel a little bit more comfortable there if you are the Highlanders on defense to pick up that first one.
And that one, a rifle shot. Throw onto third base, the force there, but man, oh man, the crack of the bat and the smack of the glove when the ball hit it. Audible from out here.
Oh, yeah.
And
right back at Adams.
Great job by Adams to stay with it and throw on to third base to retire the lead runner. But Elkin, man, oh man, it was a. Thought that that hit the home run by Griak earlier in the game was hard hit. That one right there. And we have headphones on, keep in mind. You can hear that clearly through our headsets. This one scoops in there, but Bernecki, as you would expect, a wall back there, able to stop it and keep the runners at first and second base, but 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down.
Oh.
Strike call there. You know, I'm going to give Blue credit. You're close, but he's been fair about it. If he feels like it's a borderline, if it's a borderline pitch, he'll rotate. He'll give you the ball. Next one, maybe go get the strike. And I like that because the human eye is not perfect. We know this. And if you're going to do it anyway, do it like this guy. I like it. That one clearly out of the zone, though, and called a ball. Do it like that guy.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. I mean, he is consistent. That's all you can ever ask for any official in any sport. Call it consistently.
So 2 balls, a strike. And Adams and the Highlanders trying to dodge a bullet here and get out of this inning. This one hit towards third, and that one hit foul. Quickly called again by Blue. Again, he called it quick. So if anybody wants to debate it, because right now number 12, third baseman, Abby Zeglin, looks up at the heavens for a second and wishes that could have been the end of the inning. But again, Blue on top of it and calls the foul ball rather, as soon as that one is gloved by the third baseman. But one batter you want up in this situation, Josh, for the Wolves with count 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down, 2 runners on. It is this young lady, Maddie McConnell. That one over the head of Bernecki. Nothing she could do about that one unless she could grow 5 inches in a matter of moments.
Seconds.
Yeah. So as a result, then, Elkin trots down to second, but in front of her, Mondi scampers down to third. So now 2 runners in scoring position. Count full with 2 down for Maddie McConnell facing the lefty for the Highlanders. This one chopped, hit hard towards short. Bender throw on to first. Another dime by the shortstop to strand 2 runners and keep the Wolves within reach. Your score as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. West Shamokin 2, Cambria Heights 1 here on High Top Sports Network on this Bowser Minnick Funeral Home game day on High Top Sports Network.
Tense in those situations. Started feeling tense myself.
Yeah, it's a battle, and you're early, Josh. No reason to act surprised. When you get in a game of this magnitude, you expect it to be good. You don't expect a one-sided affair and maybe a blowout or anything like that. And this game, a real display by 2 really good teams that not only hope to claim a championship tonight, but hope to make some noise in the District 6 playoffs that are due to begin here in short order. If you hear us chuckling, it's because we're trying to get another camera set up. But
I saw a camera down there.
Yeah, he's get a camera within a camera. It's something like the movie Inception.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you're in one of those houses of mirrors, and you're just looking around. And
where is this?
It's over there.
There's a pole.
Yeah,
he's standing. Oh, God love him.
Good
help.
Different bleachers.
From
Flint.
Flint Kinter, a producer for High Top Sports Network, does a terrific job.
We'll throw it up here once he finally stops.
So bottom of the 5th, and Macy Mazzella will come to the plate for the Highlanders, who trail by a run. But
is that the first time it's been announced over the
TA? Funny you mentioned it. It was like about an inning, maybe an inning and a half ago that it started. They have a public address announcer suddenly. Did not for the first few innings.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounded new to me.
Is it chill starting to kind of come into the lovely Spangler, Pennsylvania, borough of Northern Cambria School District. A strike there by Elkin. Count 1-1. No one down here in the bottom of inning number 5. 4.5 innings played. Possibly just 2.5 remain. This Heritage Conference Championship matchup. Out of the way quickly is Mazzello. 2 balls and a strike. Certainly a little chilly.
Yeah, it definitely.
You smartly wore jeans. I did not.
You know what? I don't know why either.
I'm dressed for July weather, apparently.
It seems to, this issue seems to affect you during.
Oh, what a nice play by Stewart. Just a step off. Wow, that was a very Brian Hayes / Nolan Arenado play at the hot corner by Stewart. Able to glove that somehow, loses her balance, still gets the throw off, and just barely unable to get the runner at first base. And man, the gloves have been showcased today for both of these teams, Josh. It's been mighty impressive as the excellent Highlands, Cambria Heights. We cover Highlands games too, but Cambria Heights catcher stands in here, Josh, with no one down and a runner at first base. Tries to lay down that bunt, but unable to do so. Ball goes caroming into her dugout for strike 1. A nice play there a moment ago by Melina Stewart, just unable to get up quickly enough to get the base runner, Mazzello. She stands at first, and the catcher for these Highlanders stands in, fouled that one back, got her in on the hands, back to the cage for strike number 2. So Elkin now in the driver's seat in this at bat. No balls, 2 strikes. The bottom of the 5th inning upon us here. Game starting in the daylight now, transitioning to night. Elkin fires. This one hit sharply towards the hillside, and a nice play by the gentleman there. Gets it on a hop, stays with it. He's going to throw it back.
Fire it. Oh, he's underhanding it.
Yep, he's going to throw it. He's playing horseshoes.
New camera alert.
So, Bernecki, the catcher for the I was going to say Highlands again. The Highlanders. And she swings and misses. Throw down to first. But breaking for second base is Mazzello, and she's injured, it looks like, on the play.
I think that ball caught her in the back when she went to slide.
She's grabbing her hand. I think she just she slid, trying to get in there. Maybe it might have caught her. Not sure. See if I can see on the replay. You know, we got a stream here, a couple seconds behind, for us to, or we basically can see what you guys see out there. We're technically about 30 seconds ahead of the folks out there, and as a result, we get to see your stream as well. And just trying to see whether or not that was the ball or just the slide itself that resulted in Mazzello getting the attention at second base she now is.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. She did grab that hand. I thought she just might have caught the ball in the back after that snap throw down to first, and then firing it with Saccone toward McConnell, and the ball definitely hit Mazzello there, but I don't know. Maybe she slid and kind of landed on that hand. You never know. Mazzello being checked out by Coach Thomas and the Cambria Heights trainer.
I don't know what I'm doing here. Show you the fruits of Flint's labor here. Oh, you already have it up there, Josh.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's why I said new camera alert.
Wait, are we a little, what's this black right there? I'm not sure. A little bit off the frame.
I think that was what he was putting on the monitor there.
Oh, I apologize. Anyways, I'll let the pros do it and get off there.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a pro.
I'm going to stand for a little bit.
Well, it's actually, they just pronounced her name Corinne, even though it's...
Corinne. I've been called her Karen all night.
Yeah, K-A-R-I-N.
Corinne, I apologize.
We're sorry about that, Corinne.
Yeah. Lovely name, nonetheless. She looks at ball 1. So... a ball with 1 out. No strikes yet. In the bottom of this 5th inning. And number 21, Macy Mazzello, still in there after that look she got from the medical team here. This one roped towards left field. Monty's going to try to track it down. I'm sorry, that one caught my eyes a little bit differently there. It came right towards us, and I thought it was hit harder than it was. And instead of Monty going in to make the play, instead the shortstop, Matty McConnell, backtracks a little bit and able to bring it in for out number 2. Lost Flynn again. No idea where he went.
He's like a ninja.
Like a caribou. Elusive.
They are a wandering animal.
Nonetheless here, Josh. 2 down here. A ball to Lane. I want to say this is Lane. Is this her first at bat? Nope, she's 0 for 1 so far. Number 14 for the Highlanders, Gina Lane. Ball on a strike to count. Avery Elkin still working for the Wolves. Trying to get out of this inning, and a bunt laid down, but I think Lane might have run into that as she was trying to exit the box, or just kind of caught her. So as a result, she'll trot back to the batter's box and stand in with a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down. Certainly getting chilly now, and me, the doofus that I am, did not pack or dress well. And a swing and a miss. Elkin shuts the door, leaves that tying run at second base, and preserves the 1-run ball game for West Shamokin as we head now into the 6th inning, and the Wolves holding on to a 2-1 lead here in this Heritage Conference Championship game on High Top Sports Network, presented by Bowser Minnick Funeral Home, serving Indiana and Armstrong counties for generations.
Generations and generations. They've been around for a long time.
As long as folks have been dying.
Yeah, great folks up there, Becky and Andrew. Much appreciated, as always. We've talked to them. Talked to them. Well, I talked to Becky, as you mentioned this morning.
You good?
Yeah, oh yeah. We got to get that other camera up here between innings. That's what I was going to do.
Enjoy the fruits of Flint's labor.
That's what I was going to do, the between inning camera.
And gesturing to me that his Gatorade Frost flavor, specifically Arctic Blitz, not good. Gave me the old school gag face.
Not good, huh?
Wouldn't call it great.
Doesn't like it.
So the 6th inning now upon us, and really outside of that Griak bomb over the center field wall, Avery Elkin doing quite well here today for the Wolves. Just to give you an idea, Elkin surrendering just 3 hits. But Adams for Cambria Heights, not too bad herself. She surrendered 4 hits. The one thing that really is differentiating things right now is that 1 run, the most important thing on the box score. But also Cambria Heights, believe it or not, 2 errors, despite the terrific defense that they've shown here today. Second time in this ball game, Lily Jordan will lead off the inning. First pitch in to the junior called a ball. So we were wondering if we we're going to see a pitching change for Cambria Heights earlier on, Josh, and not the case. Sticking with the lefty has a little bit of a change up there. That one diving out of the zone quite nicely for her. As a result, Jordan doesn't pull the trigger, and count now even 1-1. Might have to go double check the old whip to see if I got a sweatshirt back there.
You know what? I have that Columbia
Always saving
fleece.
me. Always saving me in the playoffs, buddy.
I have that fleece. Well, you saved me with that fleece earlier this season in that horrendous game that I was outside.
Yeah,
at Armstrong.
But infamously, when I was freezing at St. Francis University in a state playoff game, you ran to Family Dollar.
Yeah, I did.
You got me a sweatshirt in the middle of June.
I know.
Jordan, looking at that one borderline as well. And another one of these rare 3-1 counts, Josh. You really haven't seen either of these pitchers fall behind in the count like that. But again, really Jordan, that veteran eye, able to lay off and on the count to 3 balls and a strike. And mentioned the pitchers warming up. This one raked down the line, but hit foul by Jordan. Now the count full, 3-2. But mentioned when we saw, I'm forgetting the names escaping me now for the Highlanders, somebody warming up for them.
Nyhart. It was
yep,
Nyhart.
Nyhart was warming up, and now over it looks like on the Wolves side, just in case, it got Liamondi getting some pitches in with a bullpen catcher.
Hey, no reason to keep him in your pocket if your head coach Megan Aiken's there in the West Shamokin dugout.
True. Oop. So, Jordan, again, just a tad early. That powerful swinger bringing her to a knee. And count will remain 3-2. Something's got to give. But, two veteran players battling it out here now. Lefty Adams fires home and out of the zone for ball 4. So Jordan just able to kind of hang around, fouled off pitches maybe she didn't like very much. And eventually draws the walk. Now, Lena Stewart made that awesome glove play at third base last half inning. Stands in. Really, if I had to if you told me to use one word to describe this game, I would probably say gloves.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of great plays defensively by both teams. First pitch swinging, bob a little bit, still going to throw onto first base and a dart. Tell you what, this side of the infield for the Highlanders got some guns over there. That time it was the third baseman, Abby Zeglin. We've seen Bender do it at short, but that time Zeglin showing off the arm to nab Stewart at first. So one down. Runner at second base is Lily Jordan. I need to start hitting this next batter option there. It clears the count for me. But Leah Stewart hits one to center field. That's going to hop in there in the gap. Rounding third base is Jordan. And the freshman Talmadge able to strike and put the Wolves back up by 2. 3-1. Talmadge with a laser beam into the gap, and maybe would have had a chance at 2, but plays it safe and stays at first. And still just one down here, Josh, in the top of the 6th inning in this Heritage Conference Championship game. Talk about these freshmen stepping up in a big spot. Avery Elkin on the mound for the Wolves doing her part, and right there, the second baseman, Alea Talmadge, getting into one and driving home Lily Jordan for the Wolves' third run of the ballgame.
Yeah, Jordan has scored all 3 runs for the Wolves in this game. Able to get on base, couple of hits, a walk. And she has come around to score all 3 for these Wolves.
Yeah, it's I thought that was the case, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Josh, because I want to say 3 different batters have been at the plate when she's come around to score, if that's even physically. Yep, because it was the last run was the first one I'm going to say was Kern on the sacrifice. The last one would have been, and I could really, look at the roster and refresh my memory, but I want to say that 3 different batters have been at the plate. Was it Stewart? No. Boy, oh boy, somebody's out there screaming at their screen right now. It's this, you idiot. But I want to say it was another batter. But, of course, Talmadge right there on that one, able to drive home Jordan. Not everybody out there has a Pittsburghese accent. Not trying to make a sweeping generalization here, Josh. It's just whenever I think of the folks out there that are probably just getting real mad at me out there watching their TVs or their phones or their tablets or their laptops. Remember, we're available on all those devices. Let's picture some guy in his easy chair saying, "Come on, you idiot.
Hey, bud, get it right."
Why don't you keep a box score like you used to?"
Because our hands are occupied doing this, folks, and if I was able to have an old school scorebook in front of me with my pencil, because you need to do it in pencil.
Yes.
You're going to make a mistake and you're going to have to erase it at some point. Hey, if I was able to have that in front of me, trust me, I would love it.
Well, just for whoever that guy is out there, is a pitching change, obviously, we mentioned that's taking place, and some warm-ups taking place as a result. Actually, Talmadge with 2 RBIs, so it was her. I apologize to Leah Talmadge. She has 2 RBIs so far, And the other RBI going to yet another freshman, Josh. Madison Kieran, the right fielder
awesome.
for these Wolves. So, man, oh man, talk about a trio of freshmen doing it today for these West Shamokin Wolves, who are up 3-1 in the top of the 6th inning of the Heritage Conference Championship game. Here on High Top Sports Network, Joe Rhodes, Josh Schreckengoss. Glad to be with you. Certainly been an enjoyable game thus far. Certainly don't expect that to change here over the remainder of this one, as Talmadge hesitates a little bit, but eventually does book it down to second base. That one gets past somehow. Brunecki, who's been just solid as a rock back there for, and now she almost was taking a moment. It looked like, man, just skipped up and hit her awkwardly, and yeah, they're...
Yeah, Blue's going to give her a second. Yeah, just off the plate there.
Big fan of her, though. The first time we got to see this Cambria Heights team, and she's just been as good as they come, Josh. We watch a lot of softball, and man, oh man, she makes all the routine plays look easy, and certainly goes after some hard ones, too. Sliding to her left and throwing a beautiful strike to first base again is Bender for the out. Talmadge scurries to third, though, on the play, so 2 down. And Bender playing a really nice short. You saw her bobble that play early on. I think it was the first inning where she bobbled it and still threw out the runner.
Yeah.
Her glove has been excellent, really, ever since. I'll take it. Flint bringing me a whole blanket. Thanks, man.
Oh, that's going to drop, and they're going to score.
Wow. I thought that one was going foul the whole way. That's why I looked away, Josh, and began covering myself with a blanket.
I have a fleece in my trunk. We'll try that.
No, it's okay. I kind of like the blanket. I think Flint said, you say jacket, I'll raise you one.
You're going to look like a soccer mom here in 2 seconds.
No shame in this.
No shame in your game. I love it.
Nope, I'm going to rock this black fleecy blanket proudly as the Wolves take a 4-1 lead.
That blanket normally reserved for Joe Jr.
Yeah, my son, a real big fan of fleece blankets. Whether it's Christmas, Easter, his birthday, whatever holiday, I buy him a new blanket.
Yep.
There's a stool over there. Yeah. So still 2 down, so a little 2-out magic there for West Shamokin. Leah Mondi off the glove of the third baseman. That one was hit sharply, Josh. Mondi all over it. I thought that had to have gone foul. It seemed like she was so early on it that it had no chance of staying fair, but she does off the glove of the third baseman for these Highlanders, the one and only Abby Zeglin. And, you know, as good as their defense has been in the last couple plays here, not following the trend that we've seen during the entirety of this game.
You know, Zeglin actually had enough time to get both hands up there. It just skipped off the very top of the webbing.
Sorry, Josh.
That's all right.
Flint was nice enough to go get me a blanket, so I was nice enough to go get him a stool as that one lands foul just outside the reach of the first baseman of the Highlanders. As I continue to
wrap yourself
in this lovely fleece blanket. It smells like my son, which is usually Cheetos and a mix of Cheetos and cereal.
There you go. That's going to make me hungrier than I actually already am right now.
And we keep weird hours, thus our dinner hours, not like normal humans.
No.
That one fouled directly down. Out of her stance was Bernecki trying to make a play, but the gentleman behind the home plate has done an excellent job. I want to credit him. Blue behind home has done a really nice job early on the foul call. Usually known as more of a table that our man Flint's here sitting on. He looks at me like, did you just hand me a table to sit on? As I gesture yes.
I have used that as a stool numerous times this year.
So 2 down still for these Wolves. They've just been hanging around here, extending this inning.
Ooh, laying off there. Maria Young wanted it.
2-2 with 2 strikes and 2 down. 2s are wild. And runners, I should say, plural, at first and second. And Maria Young getting a piece of that one going in opposite field.
Did you see that little girl over there on the right field fence? She just took off running away from that ball.
Oh, man, she sprinted like that ball had it.
Oh.
She could have taken a couple steps and been okay. Instead, she just goes into a mad dash.
It just turned her back and took off.
That would have made Usain Bolt blush.
That was fantastic.
Wow. So a long at bat here by the center fielder, Maria Young. This one blooped towards third base and just out of play.
Good battle.
Yep, very good battle here. So the count remains 2-2. Here in the 6th inning, Wolves lead 4-1, looking for more. And other side of things, the team in red and blue looking for to shut the door and limit the damage here. Low in the zone, a great pitch there.
Wow.
To end the inning. Credit to the newly entered pitcher for these Highlanders, Josh, number 4, Sydney Neihart. We're going to roll with. I trust you. Poor
I think
Kieran.
I've seen.
I called her Karen the whole game.
Hey, that's part of the gig. We mispronounce names every
We
now and again.
listen. I want to say this. We went to Cambria Heights during football season, and we actually did the Cambria Heights, which you can find that on YouTube still, I believe, Josh. Cambria Heights and West Shamokin football game from this fall, and they were awesome to us. Really, really fine folks down there that helped. I think it was actually my man Flint here. In that game, he was a producer for that for our 2 awesome young broadcasters, Sean McCullough and Nico Buffone, and. When I mispronounce these names, I don't mean to apologize. When I mispronounce these names, I mean to apologize because great school there, and again, part of the conference I'm very fond of. So, the latter moments of this game now upon us. Bottom of this 6th inning, Josh, and
big insurance runs for the Wolves there in the top half of this inning. Give you a little breathing room. That's got to feel good for West Shamokin.
Yep, indeed. And what was a 1-run ball game is now a 3-run ball game, and it's still plenty of time here for these Highlanders. But you feel a little bit better if you're the Wolves with that little bit of a cushion. But Bernecki, first pitch swinging, and she's able to get down to first base as I'm completely now covered in this blanket.
Only your head.
Because I just looked at you turn and just gave me this cheesy grin, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a cheesy grin.
So a runner at first base, a good start for the Highlanders if you're looking for a response. And now the new pitcher for the Cambria Heights squad stands in, looks at ball 1, Neihart.
Well, chance for her to help herself right here. And one thing that West Shamokin has been able to do is limit Cambria Heights in getting a couple of runners on here, at the beginning of the inning, with nobody out.
Well said. Bunted. Elkin's going to make a play. Throw on to first. Had trouble getting it out of her glove, Josh, but stays with it. Does Avery Elkin. Fires on to first for the out, but mission accomplished, I guess you could say, for Neihart. Able to advance that runner down to second base. Now 1 down. Runner in scoring position. And Ellie Bender, the excellent shortstop for these Highlanders, steps in and looks to help her team crawl back into this one. But looks at ball 1. Bender 0 for 2 thus far today. But certainly made up for it for her with her work at shortstop. Fair to say.
Flashing that leather. Yeah, she's been great. Shortstop's extremely difficult position to play. Obviously, you know that, being a baseball guy.
Yeah, I wasn't good enough to do it. Trust me. Coach DeHaven, you're back in the day, Coach, if you're out there listening, probably had a good chuckle. He's like, yep, that's why I put you in the outfield, bud. Yep. But nice pitch there again, a swing and a miss. Elkin getting plenty of those today. Just getting a piece. Just getting a piece was Bender there. Nearly another strikeout for Elkin. Count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. And Elkin able to get the terrific shortstop of those Highlanders out on strike. So Avery Elkin having a great night on the mound. As, again, the only thing that really, the only person to touch her up today is, I believe, the young lady that's now at the plate. If I'm not, I heard the public address announcer pronounce it a different way than I feel like we were. Griak?
No, she said, did we say Griak? She said Gryak, the public address announcer.
Okay. Well, again, there's me mispronouncing yet another Cambria Heights name. So apologies to our Highlanders fans and friends.
Yeah, Gryak, that home run, the only run on the board for these Highlanders.
So 2 down. Elkin trying to shut the door, and once
again.
A moonshot out of here for her second home run of the game. The first baseman for the Highlanders, number 8, Alexis Griak. Joe Yard.
That one more toward the right field side, opposite field power. The Oppo Taco for Gryak makes it 4-3, and that's where those insurance runs that West Shamokin was able to produce in the top half of this inning. So important. You know, Gryak, a couple of bombs today, accounting for all of the Highlanders' offense, but West Shamokin, with their patient approach on offense, just manufacturing those runs, still able to hold on to that lead. We saw Mondi warming up prior to last inning, but Elkin hanging in there. Akins is going to stick with her starter.
Griak trying to single-handedly keep her team in this. Makes that even more impressive, Josh. The fact she does it with two outs brings her team back within a run. Second time today that she's been able to do that. Both hit a home run and bring her team back within a run. Alexis Griak back into the action, though. Elkin there, the first pitch to Zeglin, the third baseman, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Ooh. Oh, man, that got the Jeep.
And the mom says, it's okay. It's okay. No worries. That's a cool mom. A swing and a miss. Avery Elkin with yet another K to end this 6th inning and keep the Wolves up by a run. But Alexis Griak yet again, another moonshot, this time going oppo to that right center field gap. Just a towering home run once again. Whoa.
What are you doing?
We're in the air, Flint. That's our camera. But the Highlanders back within a run again thanks to the efforts of Alexis Griak. So we go to the 7th inning, and Josh said it a couple innings ago. You know, you get to a championship game like this, the Heritage Conference Championship more specifically, you expect it to be a good one. And teams that were, when they last faced off, 1 run, the difference there. Why expect anything different here today, Josh? The 1-run ball game now. This second time that Griak has been able to bring her team back within 1, and as a result, we've got a good ball game with just an inning remaining, possibly. Never say never. There could be more, but
yeah, that's true.
At the top of the 7th inning now upon us. And the Wolves will come to bat first.
Certainly a game befitting of a conference championship, Joe. It's been exciting, back and forth. You know, the Wolves have held the lead the entire game, but the never say die attitude by the Highlanders has been really fun to watch.
Really, really has. And again, you know, regardless of the result here tonight, best of luck to both of these teams. Certainly, big supporters of the Heritage Conference. And again, regardless of the result, best of luck to both of these teams. And from all of us at High Top Sports Network in the district playoffs, as Elkin takes a big cut there, swing and a miss, but a great pitch by Nealon on the other side. Nyhart. Oh, wow, I said the name and just completely butchered that one. Once again, the Cambria Heights folks, you guys are great. I apologize. And there's what a play! Ooh, she reached for it, and then Elkin's going to continue to trot down there.
Oh, she's calling one, baby. She got up. Immediately, Ellie Bender got up and started signaling one down. Elkin went down. Two first. She's still standing there, Joe, but...
Wait, I'm confused. Okay, there. Yep, now Elkin's going to go. See, the way that Bender got up there, Josh, and was getting ready to fire over, it made you think that... Because nobody's going to know better than her.
I know, exactly.
Nobody in this entire facility is going to know better than her. She got up like she was going to fire to first, and... You know, you think to yourself, if you're going to do that, then you know you didn't catch it cleanly.
Yeah, and then she kind of caught herself and then turned around and was like, one out.
So, one down. An excellent play yet again by the senior shortstop for Cambria Heights, Ellie Bender. And, you know, we mentioned it, it's kind of common sense. At this stage of the game, those plays mean that much more. As Maddie McConnell, another senior, stands in for what could be her potentially last at bat of this ball game. Looks at the ball. I don't know if that's count on that screen or on the scoreboard. She hasn't seen a strike yet, has she, Josh? Or am I just losing my mind?
No, I don't. Maybe that first pitch. I don't know. I thought there's. No, I don't know. We're both losing our minds.
It's cold. I'm wrapped in a fleece blanket. Well, that one a strike.
Yeah, she saw one there. So it says 1 and 2 on the board. So
a game changer here. Maybe. Who knows? Something. Again, the guy in the armchair yelling at me right now, saying, "Get it together." It doesn't appear that is the right count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one reaching up high for it was McConnell. Luckily, getting a piece of it. Her case to extend this at bat. Again, looking for insurance are these Wolves. They had it a moment ago, but then a hard-hitting first baseman for the Highlanders, Alexis Griak, able to cut the lead back down to 1 with her home run. Ball in the dirt. McConnell lays off, and the count moves to 2 and 2. McConnell hits this one off the end of her bat. Under it is Bender, who kind of had to readjust there. Yep. You know, that getting late in the day. And here's the thing: there are lights clearly, and you need them to see. But the thing is, they're kind of low-lying lights.
Yeah,
so
they're not very high.
They're not very high. So when that ball is up there, it's gonna once it hits the point where those lights kind of come into play, it's gonna look a little bit different to you.
Yeah.
And you know, credit to Bender there once again, able to adjust accordingly and grab the out. Now, Wolves down to their final out here in this 7th inning. First pitch strike to Lily Jordan. Lily comes in this at bat 2 for 2.
3 of the 4 runs scored as well for Lily, so doing a great job.
Just to make a note, I'm not rooting openly for any of these teams. I'm wearing this black fleece blanket on me.
You look like a West Shamokin mummy if there was silver on it.
Yep, I am just cold, and this happened to be in my car because I have a 7-year-old who loves them. And I love him. Joey, I love you, bud. Lily Jordan standing in. Looks at yet another strike, and that one put perfectly. And again, got to give her some credit back there. Bernecki framing it perfectly. Now the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes to the junior catcher, Lily Jordan. That one, just getting a piece of it. And man, oh man, you know when Lily's loading up for it, she kind of...
down to one knee.
That one knee,
like an old school power hitter. Just
The home run derby, you always see it in home run derbies for Major League Baseball. Those guys get a hold of some of those, and they're really trying to get their upper bodies into it. They'll drop to that one knee. And seen it a couple times here tonight for the West Shamokin catcher. Jordan reaching up for that one, but it's going to sail over the first base dugout now to play. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes.
pretty good contingent of West Shamokin fans here, Joe. I think they're.
They travel well.
I think they're outnumbering the Highlanders fans
Yep.
just by a quick glance.
For as long as we've been broadcasting and really rating or covering sports one way or another, we know that West Shamokin fan base, well known for traveling well, as good as any fan base that I can think of that we're familiar with. And as Jordan looks at a ball there, 2-2 the count now. But be it basketball, football, in the case of today, softball, West Shamokin fans travel well. That one almost nearly in the same spot outside. And the count now full. 3-2 with 2 down here, top of the 7th inning. The Highlanders with some late offense, particularly last half inning. They were down by 3 runs, cut it down to just 1. And the Lily Jordan says, I'm going to help add a little bit of a cushion. And bomb home run to center field. Lily Jordan with a shot and a full count and 2 down. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, went down to that one knee, man.
Man, oh man.
She got it all.
Here's the thing. We've seen 3 home runs now in this game, and none of them have been cheap.
No.
None of them have been cheap. And Lily Jordan right there, blistering that one, putting it well over there's a set of bleachers here that are probably, I'm going to say 7 yards back behind the fence. That thing cleared the bleachers that are probably 7 feet high with plenty of ease.
Oh, yeah.
So Lily Jordan tattooed that one in a big count. Again, full count, 2 down. And that one, that insurance run right there, Josh.
Big time.
And then we talked about the importance of runs. Lily Jordan, that heads-up play early on in the game where, the Highlanders were staring at the umpire at first and kind of looking at each other, and Lily Jordan making her way around from second base. And we said that run could loom large. Well, give her that credit for that, and then give her credit for that home run a moment ago. Lily Jordan, putting her fingerprints all over this game.
Yeah, 3 for 3. Also drew a walk. Now 4 runs scored. She has been the catalyst.
Yep, that's a huge insurance run right there, Josh, for the junior catcher of the West Shamokin Wolves, Lily Jordan. Now Melina Stewart standing in with an even 1-1 count. Lays off that one. Count now 2 balls and a strike. Still 2 down here in this 7th inning of the Heritage Conference Championship game. Josh, I would, there's a little mound visit, and I see you over there kind of flexing your hand a little bit like you're getting chilly. I was going to offer to share a blanket with you, but there were way too many people here. That would be real weird.
I don't know if we should share a blanket.
Nope. But, man, oh, man, talk about a good producer. When you say you're cold and go get me a jacket and somebody comes back with a full fleece blanket, you've got a good producer.
Exactly.
So thanks to Flint Kinner for that.
He said, you want a jacket? Why don't you ensconce yourself
I'll raise you a ginormous fleece blanket.
in fleece?
A queen size, I think this is. It's big. Like I said, my son is an avid blanket fan, if that's such a thing. And Lil Man has so many of them. It's pretty crazy. This one hit softly to first, but the play made, and that will end the top of the 7th inning. But Lily Jordan, with 2 down and a 3-2 count, blisters a home run deep into the night here for the West Shamokin Wolves, and they will look to close this one out and win a Heritage Conference Championship game, 3 outs away, and a 5-3 lead here in the always lovely Spangler, PA.
Oh, love it. Beautiful up here. Or over here, I guess you would say, from our home base.
Yeah, so the
not necessarily up, more over, direction-wise.
Yes. But, Josh, I was about to say the storylines abound here today.
Oh, yeah.
As I get people look over my shoulder and I see somebody kind of smirking at me, and, no shame here.
No shame.
I am wearing this blanket proudly. It is cold. I am a doofus and dressed like it.
Like you go to the beach.
Yep, like I was going to the beach, not realizing, hey, it's still May. The temperature's going to drop when the sun goes down.
It has dropped a fair amount.
Yep. But you at least wore pants. I thought, hey, I'm going to wear shorts.
I try not to leave the house without wearing pants.
I'm wearing flip-flops, too. Just a total doofus move.
I didn't even notice the flip-flops.
Oh, yeah. So I will say this: it wasn't as bad as our the story we told earlier when we did that Armstrong Central Mountain
Loretto, PA.
In Loretto, PA in June, and it was cold up there. You're higher up. It's windy. Their field is on a hill.
Yeah.
And I remember that day. It was not warm. I want to say it was in like the high 40s.
There was no sun.
And like the high 40s and the wind. And you're dressed like me, once again, like a doofus, wearing shorts and a T-shirt. I got cold fast, but you saved the day by going to Family Dollar.
Actually, Family Dollar saved the day because I did go to a different store. I went to a Dollar General first,
Yes.
and I asked for a long sleeve shirt, and she said, "Buddy, we put all that stuff away."
It was June. You'd think you wouldn't need it, but I did. First pitch in there a moment ago, called a ball, but then coming right back, does Elkin with a strike. Count now even, 1-1. And Mazzello, the batter for Cambria Heights, the last chance for these Highlanders. Third pitch of the at-bat in there for a ball, 2-1 the count. Wolves trying to close it out here, just 3 outs away from a Heritage Conference Championship game, and quite a nice little boost to send these Wolves into the District 6 playoffs. This one popped up high. Jordan getting tangled up with the umpire, but wouldn't have mattered because it made its way over the rusty backstop.
The rusty backstop.
That'd be a great bar name.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
What else would you call rusty?
I don't know. Maybe, like a hardware store? Hey, come down to the rusty backstop.
Hardware store.
We can get you fixed up.
The rusty backstop. Like a little glove as your signage. And well, if folks out there don't take Josh's idea, he's going to open a hardware store named the Rusty Backstop someday.
The Rusty Backstop will be opening in 2027.
Also one of Josh's nicknames in college.
Yep.
This one blooped. That one's going to drop a golf shot. And then it gets past the glove of Monty, rounding first base and getting into second safely was the batter Mazzello. And that took a bad kick on Monty, Josh.
Yeah.
You saw that. It had some English on it, or it hit something in the field. I'm not sure which.
I think it was the English on the ball because she caught it off the very end of the bat, so the ball's spinning this way. There's no top spin or back spin to it. It's actually spinning sideways. And when it hit the ground, it went completely different angle on Monty. Got past her, and that allowed Mazzello to get into second. So again,
This one, first pitch swinging, popped up. Bernecki, the batter, and able to get the play and got it in there is Maria Young, one down. So
that's big.
that is big. And really, just kind of watching Elkin there, she really reared back on that one. She knows the finish line's in sight here and probably doesn't like the idea that there's a runner in scoring position standing directly behind her at second base. And so she certainly reared back and fired that one home. And now just 2 outs away are these West Shamokin Wolves, but standing at second base is Mazzello, representing the tying run. They wouldn't be the tying run. They'd still be down by 1. Not a math guy.
We're going to get a pinch hitter here who will represent the tying run. I'm waiting to see who it comes up, and it is...
A pinch batter? Or pinch hit?
Megan Wolliver. I'm going to go with the PA announcer.
Mm-hmm.
Megan Wolliver.
And you folks over at Cambria Heights, you got the trickiest last names and first names. But we love you.
Yeah, I would have never thought that was Corinne. I've seen Corinne spelled different ways.
See, I call her... How did I even say that? I've got it wrong twice. I pronounced it 2 different ways, and none of them are right. Nonetheless, Wolves leading by 2. And the first pitch in there to this new batter, Oliver. Past her for a strike. She takes a big cut. Elkin, once again, she's followed up a ball with a strike. I guess there was another pitch there. This one blooped. Elkin gets it for out number 2. And now the Wolves just 1 out away from claiming a Heritage Conference Championship, a trio of freshmen, and of course Lily Jordan helping this team get to this point where they're just 1 out away. But the tying run will stand in here for Cambria Heights. And of course, Gina Lane. But can't say enough about the performance by Avery Elkin and these Wolves. And a youthful team, certainly. But not playing like freshmen here today, Josh.
No way.
Her and Kieran, and of course, a couple RBIs to her name, the second baseman, Leah Talmadge.
Yeah, Talmadge has been great too.
Elkin heading the count, no balls, a strike, pitch on its way, swing and foul back to the rusty backstop.
One more. Wolves only need one more strike here, Joe.
Wolves fans begin clapping, waiting with bated breath. They are one out, or one pitch away possibly from a conference championship check swing. And benefit of the doubt given there.
Wow.
It's a tough one. That was a big cut, barely able to hold off. According to the crew here was Lane, and she'll live to see another pitch at least. But still 2 down. 1-2 count as Elkin fires home. Dribbler, past the glove. Talmadge is going to get it. She's going to throw onto first base in time, and the Wolves are your Heritage Conference championships. A champion. They have defeated the Cambria Heights Highlanders. Get payback for an early season loss and win it by a score of 5-3.
What a game, Joe. Exciting. All the way through. Looked like a pitcher's duel early, then breaking the ice for the Wolves, fighting back with a couple of long balls were the Highlanders. But in the end, Avery Elkin able to close it out. Complete game and a victory here for a conference championship.
Yeah, the team really just, as I said there, Josh, riding the efforts of 3 freshmen and Lily Jordan. That's really taking nothing away. This is a team sport. We well know their defense was excellent, as the case was for both teams. But really, just an impressive when you think about the fact that you had 3 freshmen playing a really large role. Both the eye test telling you that, and then of course the box score as they hoist their Heritage Conference plaque.
Yeah, got the plaque up.
Starting to pile those up at West Shamokin. Of course, a newish member, I guess you could say. What was it? 17 was the first year for West Shamokin in the Heritage Conference, and I think it began with girls basketball. I think claimed the first one, if I'm not mistaken. I have no idea. Nima just running away. God bless him. And there's a Marion Center shirt. How about that guy?
All right.
Okay. Marion Center glove here.
He's scouting maybe. might run into them in the district playoffs.
Just a stream of consciousness there by me there. Yeah. I just talked about 3 different things in a 10-second span. But anyways, the trophies beginning to pile up. The Heritage Conference trophies beginning to pile up in Royal Valley, certainly, for the West Shamokin Wolves. Another one claimed here this evening in the softball championships. The nice little boost for this team as they head into the district playoffs as newly minted Heritage Conference championships here in 2023. The West Shamokin Wolves able to defeat the Highlanders of Cambria Heights in the ice bath.
Oh, I think I transitioned. I don't know if I got it in time, but I'm going to have to ask Coach Akins about that when they got her. She tried to get out of the way there.
Man, I want to know. I want to go back and watch who that was that was helping. Or that had to be 2 people, right?
Yeah.
That were running with that bucket. If there was a sport where it was 2 people holding on to a giant ice bucket running, that would have been Olympic worthy. They were booking it. That was something there, Josh. But. Yeah, a game, I guess, just layered with storylines. The efforts of Avery Elkin certainly among them on the mound, a freshman in a big spot, first real playoff game, playoff appearance, really, and looked nothing like a freshman did Avery Elkin. Same could be said about Leah Talmadge, 2 RBIs to her name, the second baseman having an excellent performance here this evening. Kern driving in the first run of the ball game, and that sacrifice that brought home Lily Jordan, and then right there rounding it out for the Wolves, Lily Jordan. 4 runs scored.
Yeah, and take a look at that box score for Avery Elkin. 7 innings pitched, only 6 hits, 3 runs, but all 3 of them earned. They were on those 2 home runs, and 8 strikeouts in that complete game victory for the freshman pitcher for the Wolves.
And I think that's where our High Top Sports Network player of the game. We'll leave it at that. It's got to be Avery Elkin. You got to give the pitcher some credit. You're involved in every single play.
Yeah.
And you're coming in here against a team with pedigree and some experience in this in this environment, in this particular game just a year ago, and you come out and do what she did here tonight. Really, when you think about it, if you take Alexis Griak out of this game, Avery Elkin might have had a shutout to her name.
Yeah, really.
So that, again, the Wolves, an impressive performance here in Spangler in this Heritage Conference Championship game, and a great little building block as they will head into the district playoffs here shortly as the Heritage Conference Championships in 2023, Josh. Any final words?
Well, what a turnaround. And you got to give Coach Megan Akins credit for what she has done with this team over the past 2 seasons. Hired after a 3-9 season in 2021. She took this team to within a run of coming to this game last year. River Valley edged West Shamokin out. They were within a run of getting here last year. That was the start of the turnaround. And then this year, the way that they have been able to just blow through their conference schedule and this winning streak that they're on right now, getting more confident by the game, a lot of that is because of head coach Megan Akins in her second year here. Just a fantastic story in West Shamokin.
I mentioned that Megan's a fellow Marion
Yes,
Center
she
alum.
is.
I had to sneak that in there.
Oh, yeah.
So, us Marion Center alum, we got to give game respect in game.
Yeah, you got to root for each other, of course.
So, yeah, congratulations to Coach Akins and the Wolves. And, again, you mentioned it, Josh, and said it perfectly. She's really done an excellent job of turning this program, I don't want to say around, because weren't just a completely depleted program, but certainly had seen better days prior to the moments that you mentioned just a second ago there. But back at a place and maybe better than this program, certainly I think better than this program has ever been here now, because they are Heritage Conference champions, and that's it's not been the case thus far in their stint in the Heritage Conference. So, again, Coach Akins and the whole staff, Alexis Adams, I forget who was mentioned me her the other day that I think it was Jason Elkin actually, saying about, she's been such a crucial part of this too, always, kind of a big component of just the coaching staff in general, and the strings they're able to pull to get the most out of these players, and she's as pivotal, as any in that dugout for the Wolves. So again, it's been just really fun to watch over this year. And Josh, we mentioned it, the win streak, I think it should be, as far as I remember, up to 32 games now for Armstrong School District. Not just these Wolves, but the Riverhawks of Armstrong winning their Whippeal opener today in convincing fashion, 10-0. And the Wolves able to cap it off here tonight with a win of their own in the Heritage Conference Championship game, a 5-3 win over the Cambria Heights Highlanders here in Spangler, PA. Josh, any final words?
No, just congratulations to the Wolves. Always love doing a game with you, even though you've frozen a couple times here the past 2 springs. But always enjoy the rare opportunities we actually get to sit down together and call a game with one another. So had a fun time, great game. It was an enjoyable night, and let's go get warm and get something to eat.
Yep, absolutely, and right back at you, man. Always enjoy it. It's an honor, really, and getting to call games with you, because for those that know, obviously we're the guys that run, I guess you could say, High Top Sports Network, and I guess you could say that.
We do something.
We do. We run this thing.
We run this.
We do. We do.
Who run the world? Well, girls do, but we run High Top.
Yeah, we run High Top. But very true. But it is rare that we get to do games together, so I always appreciate when I get to, certainly. And so thank you, Josh. Thanks to our producer today, wherever he's running around like a chicken with his head on fire.
He's pulling up cables. So
he's the man. He's the man. But Flint Kinner, thank you for your efforts, Flint, and thank you for your help. Want to thank Becky Donahue and the fine folks at Beyond the Sunset Pet Crematory and Bowser Minnick Funeral Home. Really appreciate you guys so much for seeing our platform as a valuable tool to these student athletes to showcase their skill, and certainly means that much more when you do it during playoff season, like Becky and the terrific folks at Bowser Minnick Funeral Home did today, today's official broadcast partner. And lastly, want to thank you folks out there. As I always say, you have several ways to spend your time, and here on a Monday night, dog days of the school year, I guess you could say, you decided to spend it with us, and man, oh man, we couldn't be more grateful for it here on High Top Sports Network. I know, speaking for Josh, it is, we see those numbers and we get those nice comments and folks that, or genuinely appreciate. Maybe they're out of town, or maybe they're for one reason or another can't make it here to the ball game, and we were able to bring it to them, and they let us know and show appreciation. It's we certainly appreciate that feedback, and you guys are the folks we do this for, because we know that life happens and can't always be at the ball field. So we're glad to be able to bring you the action here on High Top Sports Network. So that wraps it up. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. We'll see you here in the coming days for some playoff action in baseball and softball diamonds, and look forward to bringing you more here in this waning days of the 2022-23 school year on High Top Sports Network. So one final time for Flint Kinner, for Josh Reckengost, and myself, Joe Rhodes. You guys have a terrific rest of